This is your Trader. This is the last call of the day, end of the week here. So we'll take a look here at crude oil, WTI, and Brent. We'll take a look here at natural gas, gold, silver, Bitcoin, and we'll look at the old indexes here. At the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas, along with the Baker Hughes rig count. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy selling stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have crude oil. Now again, it's actually pretty decent scalping here in the UCO today. They were small scalps, but it still was not too bad, okay? So far what we have is an inside day, high and low is within the previous day's high and low kind of situation. Now remember, got to be a little bit careful here over the weekend because we don't really know what's going to happen here. They want to get, Iran is talking to Lebanon now. They want to get the Straits of Hormuz open up here. They want to get the fighting stopped here, the war kind of stopped, halted. So we got to see how it's going to shake out. So again, I'm going in here kind of a neutral situation until Sunday night because I can start trading there at 8 o'clock. The futures open at 6 p.m. So let's just take a look at the charts. Now on the upside, what we're watching this 98.70 level. Okay, there's your 21-day. Then we'll go to today's high. You're looking at 142 level. We'll come up here. You're looking at 102.70. And then here's your key level. It's going to be right here. It's going to be this 8-day at 103.32 level. Okay. Now we have sideways action. The 8-day is still over your 21-day. So we'd have sideways to up kind of an action. Now again, we get above that 103. You'll be looking at 105.36. We'll come up here 106.86. We'll come right here to the bottom there at 108.89 level. And then we can venture right on up here. We have 113.97. We have what do we got there? 115.48. Your retest 117.63, and then 119.48. That should be your breakout situation. Okay. Now you can see here when crude sold off, it came right down to that 8-day, very, very nicely. See how nice that works. Okay, it held the 8-day here, held the 8-day there, 8-day, and held it very, very nicely. So that's going to be very, very key support there on the downside. So now we're looking for the downside. We're looking for yesterday's low, 95.25 level. We can come down here to the bottom of this candle, looking at 92.08 level. Yesterday's low was 91.05. We're going to be looking right here, though, at that 91.53, just above it. Okay, that's going to be very, very key. Now we start losing that. Then we'll come right down here, 89.51. We have 86.46. We'll come down here at 84.37. And we'll be looking right here for that key 50 SMA here at 81.67. Now, just remember, this war is not over. You haven't solved any solution here. And now they want to put a big tariff here going on anybody who comes through the Straits of Hormuz here. That's not going to be good because if you're going to put out and say, oh, I'm going to put $1 a barrel. Yeah, but you're looking probably $1 million here for every tanker, okay, that comes through there. If they're carrying 1 million barrels, that's going to really create the inflation here because now you're going to be raising the prices up here very, very high. So you got to be really kind of careful with this. I just think crude oil is going to be higher for longer here. So as long as we're holding this key level right here, this 91.05, basically this 91.54, it's going to be sideways here to up action here. So just remember that this is basically just a trade situation. Now you're sitting at 52, that's an overbought oversold. The green crossed over your red, so it's momentum up downside. And we do have a possible, I say, bear flag building right here. Okay, so we got to see how it's all going to shake out next week and over time. Eventually, I think it's going to get solved, but I just think that the prices are going to be probably held up higher in this $80 range versus what we were used to here at that $55 range. Okay, let's take a look here now at Brent crude. Okay, here we have Brent crude now, and I can see here where it's not as good as really as what we had here on the old on the WTI. You can see where it came all the way down, and we went past that 8-day on the WTI. We held that 8-day. We held it on the closing basis here, but that's going to be very, very key support here. We got to hold that 95.64. If not, we could retest that 90 level very, very easily here. Okay, so right now today we have this inside day. So on the downside here, we want to watch yesterday's low at 94.34, and we can come all the way down here at that 90.10, and then your big target is going to be all the way down here to 86.68 level. Okay, so that could be a very, very target. And we start losing that. We got 79.92 with a 200-day sitting all the way down here, okay? So what we have here, you can see where it's really basically on the downside. The green is over your red, okay? That's on the downside. This got way, way, way to an bought condition. Now we're selling off here, and this is kind of curling over here. So it doesn't really look that great for Brent. And another thing I don't like about it is you see how this 8-day crossed over that 21-day? That's not really a good look. Okay, so on the upside, we're watching today's high, 98.25. We'll watch yesterday's high at 99.52. Then we'll be looking right here for that 101.93, and then we'll be looking for that 103.93. That is going to be your 21 SMA. Now, if we get above all that level here, then we can come all the way up here at that 105 a level. We come up here at that 106.96. And then we have 109.06 level, and we can venture all the way up here to 111.87, and we come all the way top at 115.10. And then your big retest is that 119.40 level. Okay, so this here doesn't look as good as WTI, but you know what I'm saying, it's still, if you're trading this here, just again, just kind of watch out for a couple things right here at this 95.62 level, and then the bottom of this candle right here at that 90.01. If we lose it, you're going to come right down here to that 50-day. Now, on the upside here, of course, since we have that bearish crossover, that the 8-day cross at 21, that's going to provide very, very strong resistance. So any kind of a rally is going to go right to that 101.94, and I think it's going to be stopped pretty good. And then we have that 103.93. Now, when you have war situations, a lot of times it could pop right on up here and come right back down. Same way we had here. We have the big initial pop, and then it kind of gets a kind of, you know, realizes the same thing here. Not a big initial pop, and then we have that double top situation. Now we're kind of like selling off here. Okay, so again, this is basically just a trading situation. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. All right, here we have natural gas. Now, I've been pointing out here these couple of very, very key levels here, and I'm sure that you were watching them right here. So far, we hit today down at that 2-point low of 2.62. Okay, so what do we have here? What do we got there? 2.62. What do we have here? 2.62. Wow, what a shock. Okay, I've been pointing this out here now for what, about a month? Okay, so you know exactly where it's going. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? KLD was a really, really good trade today, and I don't see really any kind of a, you know, thing where natural gas is going to be big ripping up here. Okay, so just follow the charts, because bottom line, always look to the left of the chart. Where it's been is where it's going before. I know I keep saying that, but that's accurate. 262. What do you have there? Right there. Okay, today's low, 262. Okay, so now we got to see if we can hold this. Okay, that's the key. If you can hold this, you could have a possible double bottom, and then we could rally up here. Now, again, you have very, very strong resistance here. You got that. Look at that 8-day. Look how strong. And these are weeks that I just could not get right through that situation. We have the 8-day here sitting at 277. That's going to be very, very strong. We have the 21-day at 294, and then we have the 297 sitting right here. Then we have right there, we have 308 level, and then we have your 326. And then what do we have here? 348, and then we come all the way up here to 368. But you're going to need one hell of a catalyst here to get natural gas to go higher here. I just don't see it kind of a situation here going on right now. But again, just follow this candles. Okay, so if we start losing this 262 level, then all we do is we venture right here to the bottom. Okay, so what do you got? You got 251. That's going to be looking at. Then we come down here, you're looking at 245. That's going to be your next levels there. Okay, then we have there 229 level. We come to the bottom here, we have 221, and then we have your you know, bottom line here. We come down to the bottom of this candle, 187, and then your big retest at 152. So again, just watch the left of the chart. That's where exactly where it went, 262, and this is where we have today, 262. Now, we had this 277 area, and I thought we had a possible double bottom, but you can see obviously we don't have that. It just broke right through. And look at this 8-day. Okay, you crossed over, and it just absolutely putting it right down, a force right down there. Same way here on the weekly chart. It's just a big brick wall to try to get through. So any kind of a rally is going to be met with some really, really strong resistance. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold. Okay, here we have gold. Now I can see it really wasn't really much of a mover. Today we made a high of 48.20. Yesterday's high was 48.26. So far we have what they call just an inside day. Okay, so again, when it rallied up here, we made that 48.88. All I was doing watching right here was that 48.92 level. Okay, that's very, very simple. That's what I was watching. Went right into it. Boom, take the trade off. If you can't get above it, then it's not going to go higher. Again, you know what I'm saying? If it goes above it, okay, as long as it closes above it, then you can jump right back in it, and then we take it right here to this 50-day moving average here at that 49.27. Now, what I do like about this is the 8-day cross. Let me bring this up a little bit here, okay? Now, the 8-day crossed that 100-day, crossed that 21-day. Now, look at this. Look at this. Look at the support here, okay? Look at this, how nice that held the whole way. Now, nobody says it's not going to hold again. Okay, that's the key. So this is your key level of support right there, is 47.40 level. That's going to be very, very critical. Okay, what do we have here? 47.07. What do we got here? You got 46.83. And then what do we have here on your 100-day at 46.79? So everything is sitting right here. So you have a ton of support. You have 8, 21-day, 100-day, and 21-day on your weekly. So very, very good support here. So basically, all I'm doing is just trading this on the long side, in, out, take the money, put it in the pocket, see what happens tomorrow. Okay, if I don't catch the bottom, I don't sell the top, I don't really care. All I'm looking for is that meet in the middle. Now, what we're looking for on the upside is 48.26. Watch that 48.88, and then watch this key level right here, that 48.92. When we get above that, 49.27, that's your target. We get above that, we got 51.97. That's going to be your big target. The key is once we break above this, that 8-day is very, very strong. The 50-day here is going to be even stronger. Okay, so just always remember that. Downside, got to hold right here. Got to hold all that 47.40, that 47.07 right there, 46.83, and then right there, that old Hondo there at 46.79. We start losing that, well, then we can come right down to the bottom here. 46.26 level, we have 45.80, we come all the way down here, 44.44, 4400, and we come down 43.48. And just follow the candles down, 43.06. Then we have your big 200-day at 41.79 level. But right now we have a good uptrending situation. The green is over your red. So actually this is looking very, very bullish here. But again, it needs a catalyst here to start blasting right through that 8-day and that 50 SMA here. All right, let's take a look here now at silver. All righty, here we have silver. Now I can see here how silver is basically for me a very, very good trade, okay? So SLV, you had a really good range, almost about a buck today, 68.56 on the bottom, 69.54 on the high side. Now that was just there in the day kind of a situation. Now you can trade that SLV 24/6, I should say, Sunday night from 8 o'clock all the way to Friday night at 8 o'clock, okay? Now you can see here we're holding this. This is where we have to hold. This is going to be very key. 75.79, we want to hold that. Your next support here is going to be sitting here, 75.91. Those are going to be your two really, really key levels. Now, if we start losing that, then we come down to the 8-day here at that 74.49, and then we have 74.15. Now, we start losing that, then we come to the bottom here, 69.61 level, and then we come down here to your 66.70 level, and then we have 65.55, and then your big retest 61.21, and then obviously your 200-day, and then we have your 50-day and a weekly. But right now, this is looking pretty good. However, we just have to pay attention to this because this is a possible bear flag situation. Okay, I say possible. We don't know. We start breaking up here, and then you negate the pattern. Okay, so on the upside, this is what we're looking for right here. Is 78.95. That's going to be your 8-day. So if it starts rallying up here, then I'll see if it can get above that. Then the next level is going to be that 50-day. You can see how that 50-day is rolling over here now. So I was talking about this wedge situation that we have, and I can see how we're trying to break out to the upside. So two key levels on the upside, right there, your 8-day, and right here, your 50. To get above that, right here, 87.69. That's your target. We come above that, you get 90.38, and we can venture all the way up to 97.30. 50, plenty of room to run. Green over your red shows good momentum to the upside. Plenty of room to run here. It looks like this wants to curl above here, but just pay attention to this. This is a possible bear flag situation. Okay, let's take a look here now at Bitcoin. Okay, here we have Bitcoin. Okay, so here we go. Now you can see here how we have this uptrending situation, okay, and we made a higher high and a higher low today. That's always very, very good. So today we made this high at 73.555 level. Okay, so what we're looking for is right here, 73.305. You can see we're above that. Now your next level is going to be right here, this candle right there at 74.895. Then we get above that, it's 76.190. I think we're going to tag that 76.190. Then we have to see what the reaction is going to be. Okay, if we can get a crack above that 76.190, then right here is your target, right there, 79.655. And then above that, we have that 80.294 level. Now, one thing I always want to point out to you, we start cracking above that right here. This is what we're looking at, 79.660. That is going to be your gap. And then we look to the bottom of this candle at 81.210. There's your fill. So you have your gap. Then you have your 100 SMA here. Then we have the fill situation. We crack above that, then we can start moving this up here nicely, and that would be your big target all up there at 96.918. Now, I'm scalping the BITX, and I just think this is really a good trading situation right now. Okay, I mean, you got BITX got down to 1649 and as high as 1717. Now, I usually on Fridays I cut my position down. I trade 5,000 shares of pretty much everything. Okay, and I cut that down to like 33,000. But with the BIX here, I don't know, I'm just feeling a little bit more comfortable. Simple reason is we are above this 68,780 level, and we are above all these simple moving averages. Okay, so we have your 50-day at that 72.44. We have your 21-day at 73.75. Then we have right here is your 8-day at 71.23. Now, with those futures open here on Sunday night, this 8-day is going to be higher. And if it can cross that 21-day and that 50-day, that's going to be very, very bullish because any sell down should have some really, really good support. And then we can just take that thing higher. That's what I'm kind of looking for. Okay. So what I'll do is I keep a little bit bigger position going on here with the BITX. It's like today I just traded the 5,000 shares versus the 3,000. I don't know. I just feel a little confident where we're going to start getting ourselves a nice good rally kind of a situation, and possibly hit at least retest that 76 190 level, and maybe even crack above and go to that 79 655 level. And then we have to see what the reaction is once it gets this 21 day is going to be very, very strong, because that's always the catch-all. Once you lose an 8-day, we start heading for the 21-day, and that usually stops it cold. However, I do like this. We are way at the bottom here. That's always good. Okay, we're at the bottom here. That's always very, very good. And we got plenty of room to run on the daily here. And the green is over red. And remember, we are at the bottom of it. We're not at the top of the situation. We got plenty of room to run. In 56, you can run all the way to that 70 and 70 plus here. Now we have a good uptrending chart here. So, bottom line here, just watch these key simple moving averages. All we have to do. You got the 21-day. Okay, we got the 8-day, and we got that 50-day. And then we have this key 8-day here. And it looks like by Friday, we should be holding that. And that's always very, very positive. Where that 8-day, we can get it to roll right back up here again and push it right towards that 21 SMA here. All right, let's take a look here at the indexes. Okay, here we have the indexes. Now, when we were way down here, I said we have positive divergence. See how low, lower, low. But look at here on the RSI. The RSI is a very, very good indicator. You want to use that. You want to use this MACD. Okay. Now, again, these are Thinkorswim charts, and you can use. They have, I don't know, maybe 100 different indicators, maybe more that you can actually use. But just keep your charts simple. That's the key. And another thing is, don't let anybody sell you none of this bullshit here that they got to have $4 for this and $8 for that. Oh, it's only $10 a month. It's only $2 a month. By the time you get your monthly fee, it's going to be $200-$300. You don't need to do that. It's Thinkorswim. Go to Schwab. It's free. Okay, totally free. Okay, works absolutely fantastic. Okay, so when we were down here, I said we have these big targets. I said what we're looking for is that 200-day. Look what happened here. Okay, you popped above. You couldn't close above it. Okay, then once we broke up on it, where he delayed that war situation, okay, boom, where'd it go? And went right dead nuts into that 50-day. Look at that. Now, yesterday we made a high, okay, right above that 100-day. And now today what we have is an inside day. Your high and low is the inside of the previous day. Okay, so what we're looking for on the upside here is we got to get back above that 50-day, okay, 47,999, and we got to get back above that 48,100, that 100-day. Once we do, then we can go to yesterday's high, 48,323 level. Then we can just start venturing right up here. Look at that, 48,526. Bring this price channel right across how easy that is, 48,854. Okay, and then we just follow the candles up, 49,64. We have 49,253. Bring that price channel right across there. What do you got? 49,815, and then your big retest all the way up there. But again, if this comes down here, but look at this 8-day, cross the 21-day, cross the 200-day, looking very nice. So even if this sells off, Sunday night or Monday, this sells all the way down here, as long as we're holding this 8-day, that could be a nice good buying opportunity to take this long. Now, Dow, easy trade. UDOW, if you want to trade the Dow, UDOW, UDOW, or SDOW on the short side, okay? Very, very nice. Now, 57, that's not overbought or oversold. The green is over your red here, but we're at the bottom. This is still looking very, very good. Now, the S&P is looking actually even a little bit better here. The simple reason we broke up there through that 100-day, and now so far we are holding it. So if we can hold that 68.04, that would be very good. Your next big target on the downside is 67.61. And then we'll go to the bottom of this candle, 67.40, because that's the gap. Okay, then we have the 8-day, then we have your 200-day here, okay? Then we have the top of that candle, which is the fill, okay? Gap, fill, but always watch that 8-day. Now look at that 8-day, cross that 21-day, cross that key level, that 200-day. Now she's rallying up here, very nice. So any sell down comes down here, as long as we hold that 8-day, could be a good buying opportunity. Take it right back up again. Okay, 59, that's not overbought or oversold. Okay, this there, green is over red. This is still looking very, very nicely. Okay, here we have the old NASDAQ. Okay, now this is my favorite. The way I trade this here is with TQQQs. Great trading here in the TQQs, always in, okay? That's got the nice basket of NVIDIA and Amazon and Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Palantir, Netflix, Tesla, Costco. It's got all the good stuff right in there, one-stop shopping. Okay, now you can see here we're hanging right around that 100-day, 22,900. That's what you got to get above. That's what you got to hold. Okay, if we start losing this here, we have that 50-day at 22,500. We have your 200-day, okay, 22,410. Then we have that 8-day that just crossed that 21-day. Then you have the 21-day here. Now your gap, okay, always watch them gaps. Okay, 22,501, and then look at the top of that candle, 22,224. Okay, gap fill, kind of a situation. Okay, now if we can still rising up here today, we got as high. What did we make up to there? Okay, 2311 mark. Okay, so if you just bring this right across here, we just look at the top of that candle. Okay, we came up there a little bit higher than that kind of situation, but your next target is going to be right up here. Is going to be 23,169, and then we can come right up top of there, 23,320 level, and then bring it right up here at that 23,691, and then all the way up there at that 23,988 level. So a lot of good stuff here going all the way on up here. And if we can hold that 100-day, that'd be very good. But we do have a topping tail situation, so just be very, very careful when you see those topping tails. Okay. So right now, here these charts don't look too bad. I'm looking for if we could have a pullback. That would be great, and hold that key 8 SMA here. That could be a buying opportunity. Take that bad boy right back up. Alrighty, that's what I got for you. Okay, end of the day, end of the week. I'll be back here Sunday night. Have a video there for you for 7 o'clock. And we got the Masters on this week. That's always really, if you're a golfer, man, that's a must-watch kind of a situation there. I love playing golf. And then I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. There's always something that's going on. Last week we had the basketball. This week we got the Masters. Before you know it, you're going to have the Tour de France if you're a biker like I am. Tour de France is always great, and we always got drag racing. So there's always some good entertainment coming this time of the year. All right, remember, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.